Hello, I am back with another episode of Cooking with Love. It is Monique Gigi. Today we're going to be cooking pinto beans. I didn't come on Wednesday, so it's Friday. It's either normally Wednesday or Friday. And then I will be uploading to YouTube tonight. So I pray you all are having a fantabulous day. So I went ahead this time and already put my beans in the water so I didn't have to go back and forth. So, again, for those that didn't see, hello, welcome. I just took pinto beans. They're just from my regular grocery store. And I put them in, like, extremely hot water, as hot as my hands could take it. And I rinsed them probably about 4 or 5 times with the hot water. And then I just let them sit in the hot water. Now, another option is, which I think I've talked about before, is letting them soak in water overnight, or at least for, like, 24 hours. Well, it doesn't have to be at least, but overnight. Until the morning, and letting them soak for 24 hours. And like I said before, I heard that, if you do that, you won't have gas. Well, come to find out, it is true. My aunt tried it recently, and she did not have gas. I don't care enough to prep that much in advance to, not have gas. This single mom doesn't care about gas. So it's just me and my daughter as far as I'm concerned. And she has gas, I have gas. It's whatever, I'm not tripping. So one thing, when you rinse your beans, you want them to look wrinkly. I don't know if you all are going to be able to see that, but they need to be wrinkly. So you don't want them to just still be in their natural state. You want them to start having pruning. It's a better term. You want them to look pruned. So you want to rinse them with hot water, or let them sit in hot water until they're at that point. Because if you put them in and you don't thoroughly kind of break the outer shell per se to prune, they're going to be harder to cook. It's going to take a longer time to cook. And then they won't taste the same. They're going to be hard. So we don't want that. Just, rinse them in hot water, as hot as you can take it, a couple times. If you have a strainer, that's cool too. If you, are concerned about your water is really hot and you don't want your hands to get burned. I know some people have water that's like heaven hell. And that's no bueno. So basically, I just have my crock pot. And you can use any kind of crock pot. Single parents, crock pots. Parents, period, people, period. Crock pots are your friend, especially if time is of the essence. I encourage every mom to get a crock pot, and especially us single moms who don't have a lot of time, who, are rushing, time is of the essence, get you a crock pot. You can get them from like Walmart for like $10. They even have them at the thrift store. Wash them out real good. You will be okay. I'm telling you, they are your friends. I love having a crock pot, and it's okay to get more than one, because guess what, you can have multiple things going at once. I love to put stuff on at night. Guess what, in the morning it's done. You don't have to do anything else. It's finished. That's lunch. It could be dinner. You could cook lunch at night if you want to cook some soup at night. You want to do some put a chicken in, chili, whatever. You can even listen, there are people out there, they're like a whole crock pot cookbook. You can put a cake in the crock pot. So your peach cobbler or whatever, just about anything you can put in the crock pot and cook. Of course, it's a crock pot, so it's going to take a little bit longer, but that's the point. You put it on at night, you wake up in the morning, and boom, it's done. I'm putting this on a little late. It's like 11, almost 15-ish here. So it may not be done enough time for dinner, but I'm not tripping, because I am actually tonight, me and my friend and my mom, my aunts, we're going to a coffee and paint. Now, I don't drink coffee, so I'll be bringing either some hot chocolate or chai latte or something like that to drink. But I'm really excited about that. So hopefully it's done before we go and I can eat before. But if not, I'll be eating when I come back. I don't have time right now to do cornbread, but I will be doing cornbread soon, like from scratch. If you guys want, I'll do Jiffy Mix, but I don't think anybody doesn't know how to make Jiffy Mix. So basically, crock pot, and you're going to pour in your beans. Now, I like to do this first, but it really doesn't matter. But I like to put my meat in first. Now, you don't have to put meat, but if you don't, I would suggest putting some type of stock in. I use turkey tails now sometimes, because I was coming off of like being vegan, and I do this because I really wasn't fully committed to it. I was doing a lot of things. So after that, the taste of meat wasn't the same to me. So sometimes I'll put it in, but most of the time I don't eat the actual meat. It's just for flavoring. So if you don't eat it, that's fine too. It really doesn't matter. It's mainly there to add flavor. Oh yeah, and then today's topic is peace. So I'm gonna pour these in, and then we can talk about peace. So basically, you're just gonna pour your beans in. And again, I rinse those. Hello, welcome. I rinse those in hot water. And you want your beans to look pruned. So that little wrinkly look, again, if you missed it, you want it to look pruned, you know. And again, my favorite seasoning, not sponsored anyway, but if they did want to sponsor me, I'm open to that. Is Tony Chatrans, but the blue and the herbs and spices one. In case you missed it, I use this and pretty much every single thing that I cook that is like, you know, not sweet, because it just has such good flavor to it. But yeah, so the topic today, and I'm like lightly sprinkling. I don't initially like to put too much, because if you overpower it, it's just done. I mean, you can later add water if it's too much, but I like to lightly season initially and then go back after it's cooking more and add more as needed. So if you're heavy-handed, do not be heavy-handed initially. Please don't. And you want to make sure you cover your beans with water, because they are going to cook up. They're going to swell. So I'm just doing that now. And basically, that is it. So this will be a short video, but I do want to talk about my topic, which is peace. You know, a lot of people, I'll say a lot of us, because I am definitely included. You know, we're all searching for peace, whether we realize it or not, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. We all want peace in our lives. I mean, you can thank the funk if you want to, but truth be told, we're all searching and wanting for peace. And excuse me, I inhaled some of that seasoning. You know, peace is an important part of our lives. And if you don't have that, life can feel traumatic more than it should. You can feel more confused than you should. You know, things, to me, in my opinion, are heightened. And I don't know about you all, but I don't like feeling like that. And for me, I want as much of God's peace as I can possibly, you know, have. Like, I don't want to go through things. I mean, we all go through things, but I don't want to go through things and not come out of it with the peace that I need. That's important to me for my mental health. And we all need to start taking better care of our mental health. You know, there's so many times stuff happens and it's like you're giving and pouring out here and there and there and there, but you're not taking care of yourself. And self-care and self-preservation is direly important. If you don't have that, sometimes the people you're helping and trying to do things for, you'll be on your way out of here because you're stressed and you're not taking care of yourself, and they'll be going on living their lives and putting too much on you, you know, and they'll still be doing them and you'll be gone. You know, you have to take care of yourself. You cannot allow the stresses of life to take you out of here. You have to take time for yourself. And I know as a mom, sometimes it's hard, you know, and I've talked about this before when I was previously, you know, coming on Periscope more often. You have to take that time for yourself. I don't care if you put the kids to bed early. That is necessary. Sometimes, excuse me, held too much that season. You know, it's necessary to take the moment for yourself. And I have no issue with putting my daughter to bed early sometimes. Like, it's okay. Just lay there. You'll fall asleep when you fall asleep. But sometimes I need those moments by myself. I'm a person, I love to drive. And so sometimes, most of the time, being in a car is my place of solace. And so I'll drive, you know, and I love grocery shopping. Obviously, I like to cook, but I love grocery shopping. So, you know, the grocery store, oh, excuse me, is my place of solace. And I'll go there and I'll, you know, just me and the Lord, talking to the Lord, or just having that moment to myself to be like, okay, this is my moment. This is my time to myself. I can think. I can talk to the Lord. I can, you know, whatever it is that you need to do to be okay with you. Hey, if you need to call on a babysitter, hey, the kids are asleep. Can you come for an hour? You know, can you come for 45 minutes? Even if it's 30 minutes. If you need to put them to bed and run you a bath water, you know, and just turn on some candles, some some instrumental music, whatever you need to relax and release. And talking to the Lord is so key. You know, prayer is not just, oh, Father, I need this or that. Prayer is open communication with God. Like, we talk to him and he talks back. And I know sometimes it may be difficult when people feel like they're not hearing from God, but sometimes it's a still small voice. Sometimes, you know, it sounds like his voice sounds like your voice, but you know, like, I didn't come up with that, you know. And sometimes it's that innate gut feeling like, yeah, that's what I need to do, or that's what, you know, is important. And we all need that to keep our peace. We need our moments of solace. We need our moments of reckoning with what's going on in life. And I think sometimes many of us hold things in for a long time. I wasn't a crier. It's crazy. Like, growing up, I really didn't cry too much. And then my little sister passed away, and that, like, ripped the lid off. And it was like every little thing made me cry. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, ugly crying a lot. And then I got older, and then it became like, nah, I'm tough. You know, I don't need to cry. And then I started crying again. And then recently, I think probably like August, I went to a women's conference, and in it they were talking about that women need to cry. You need to weep. You know, when we weep, and people, period, everybody needs to get that stuff out. When you hold that in, it comes out in other ways. And me, generationally, you know, we had anger issues in my family, and guess what? I don't want to be that person anymore. So, and I've come out of that. But when you hold things in, it can build up in other ways. And so when they were talking about the conference, like, you have to let it out, and the Lord rewards you. You know, when your harvest comes, guess what? A part of your harvest is from the tears that you've cried. And so for me now, you know, because I had gotten back to the point like, oh, I'm not going to cry, I'm going to hold it in, suck it up, you know, get over it. And no, like, sometimes, and I'm not saying dwell in things, but cry your tears, process. And if you can't process with someone, write it down. Writing things down is major, and it helps so much. Like, you wouldn't believe. Like, I have probably about 8 books of stuff, like little notebooks that I've just written in, and it helps you release, especially when you don't have someone you can talk to, or that you can trust to talk to, who's not going to tell your business, because don't nobody have time for that. Hi, welcome. You know, but your peace is so important. And make sure you're maintaining that. If there are people in your life who are taking away your peace, sometimes you have to cut people off, and that is perfectly fine for your mental health and your sanity. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, but we have to take care of ourselves, and sometimes, you know, you have to cut people off, and it may not be for forever. It may just be for a season, and you may have to have tough conversations with people. And listen, I love you, but you're causing more stress than good in my life. And I saw something on Twitter the other day, and it was like, I'm gonna sum it up because I don't remember exactly, but it was like, basically, I thank God for the friends that draw me closer to God. And I am so appreciative for that. It said, did you just start your broadcast? No, I started a little while ago. Maybe it says 13 minutes, so 13 minutes ago. You know, but the friends that we have is so important if they're not drawing you closer to God. And not to say every friend is not in the same category. Some friends will have to bring further up. But you know, we have to remember to what place they're in our lives, and not we're not dependent on them. They may be more dependent on us, but we're still there to help them. I'm cooking pinto beans. It's a crock pot meal, so it's real quick. And so I'm almost done, but I just wanted to come on and, you know, talk about peace and how important your peace is, and not letting others steal your peace. But also remember, you play a part in that too. You know, are you engaging in the foolishness? Are you engaging in the stuff that is not important, that may be drawing you away from God and drawing you out of your peace? You know, some things we entertain, and the devil's like, yeah, I got you now. And it's like, oh, shoot. You know, you realize like 3 days later, like, oh, I shouldn't have did that, you know, like, but it happens. It's okay. Repent and keep it moving, and realize what those triggers are in your life. So we put the pinto beans in. We rinse them. In case you missed it, we rinse them with really hot water. Yes, no drama. I don't have time for that. I don't like it. I used to like relationship drama, and no, I don't have time for any of that. If you're going to bring drama into my life, we cannot be in close proximity. I can pray for you from a distance, but we will not be connected in that way. So I put turkey tails in. You can use ham hocks. I tend not to use them because to me they taste a little bit salty. Yes, Yes, single. I do not have time. I have a little one. I am, have a lot going on, and no, we're not. This is, I said it before, but a couple years ago. But when you get to a certain age, it's like, I don't, my daughter grew me up. I already felt like I was pretty mature for my age. But when I had her at 24, it just became a whole new ball game of, I'm not dealing with that. Certain things you just don't have time for. But I'm going to pull a close up. So again, the seasoning I use is Tony Chatra's Herbs and Spices. I just got pinto beans, no particular brand. I got my grocery store brand this time. But dry beans, rinse them thoroughly with hot water. You want them to look pruned. And I put my turkey tails in. Again, you can use any smoked meat that you like. If you don't eat meat, you use vegetable stock. But you're probably going to need to use a little bit more seasoning because it's not going to have the flavor from the meat. So we're going to get a little close up real quick of pinto beans in there and 2 turkey tails. You don't have to use 2. I tend to like to use 2 because I just think 2 gives it more flavor. And sometimes my daughter or my parents will eat the meat. So I tend not to eat as much as the meat as I used to because I call myself like a fake vegan. Like I was trying, but it didn't really happen. So, but yeah, and then that is it. You want to put your top on. I'm going to put this on high because it's not going in overnight. Hopefully, I'm putting this in kind of late. It'll be done before I come back. So that is it. Keep your peace. If people are stealing your peace, your joy, it's okay to cut them off. Your mental health is important, but that's all I have for you today. I love you guys. I pray this not only blessed your spirit, I pray it blessed your stomach as well. I hope it fed you. Did I say that right last time? I don't know. But anyway, you guys have a terrific day. I'm going to end it here. God bless.